How many times did your father went out to get milk and never returned? Usually it only happens once. But in the car world, it can happen a lot more. Some cars have more daddies than others. Okay, I hear you think, what the hell are you talking about? Well, let me explain. A few years ago, I made a video about the history and practice of badge engineering, or rebadging. Long story short, some cars are simply a copy of another car, where only the badge or a few other things are changed. But the rest is all the same. The chassis, the metal body, the engine, the interior, etc. It's a cheap and fast way to fill the gaps in your lineup, and teamwork makes the dream work. I then proudly proclaimed the most rebadged car of all time has to be the General Motors T-Car or T-Platform, a so-called world car, developed once and then sold under almost 30 different names across the entire world. But there are certainly a few others that can claim this title, depending on what you see as a full-on rebadge and what isn't. But what if we inverse this question? What if I don't look for one car and its many rebadged brothers and sisters, but one car with the most diverse selection of other cars as a donor in successive order, which are then rebadged to become this one car? Introducing Dodge for the Mexican market, which is really interesting already. When you think of Dodge, you think of American Dodge. Power, muscle cars, the Dodge Challenger, the Dodge Charger, and the all-terrain crushing pickups like the Ram series. But in Mexico, it's different. Currently, the lineup of Mexican Dodge consists of A, the Durango, a 15-year-old SUV, B, the Journey, a rebadged Chinese SUV, and C, the Attitude, a compact sedan, and that's the one I want to talk about today. The first generation Dodge Attitude was simply a Korean Hyundai Accent, released in 2006. The car was the result of the Chrysler-Daimler days, which happened to have a deal with Hyundai at the time. Dodge was looking for a cheap small car, Hyundai had one, and was looking for new export markets, and the Germans ordered the Hyundai to be sold as a Dodge Attitude in Mexico. This was virtually the exact same car, but Mexican Dodge did put a little effort in it by changing the Hyundai badge for a small Dodge badge. So it's not your accent, but your attitude that's causing problems. The second generation came around in 2011. Hyundai had updated their Accent with a new generation, and so naturally it would appear as a Dodge Attitude in Mexico. But this time Dodge chose not to put any effort in it at all, as this car isn't a rebadge. No, seriously, how can it be a rebadge if no badge was read? The Dodge displays a proud Hyundai badge front and rear, but did add the Dodge name on the back of the car, so you drove a Dodge Hyundai Attitude, or at least that's what it said on the back. And you think, is this legal? Didn't the Mexican people see through this? Well, not really when you realize that Hyundai wasn't active on the Mexican market until 2014. So this logo meant ni mierda to Mexicans, and it was just another badge design for all they cared. And it should be mentioned that this car wasn't the only lazy Hyundai rebadge. You also had such cars as the Hyundai Ethos, sold in Mexico as the Ethos by Dodge. But this all changed around 2013-2014. Daimler Chrysler had already split a few years before, and Chrysler was bought by Fiat. The Hyundai partnership was cancelled, and Hyundai decided to enter the Mexican market by themselves. Dodge was left without a compact economy car. But no worries. With Fiat taking control, a new partnership was formed with the Japanese Mitsubishi. Their compact Attrage sedan was rebadged to become the new generation Attitude. This time a little more work went into it. The car received its own unique Dodge grille, and on the rear there was no Mitsubishi logo to be found. This little number soldiered on for another 10 years until it was replaced by a new generation and a new car. This time Mitsubishi wasn't home when Dodge knocked on the door for a new car, so instead a new victim was found: the Chinese. This time the Trumpchi Empow was destined to become the third in line for a Mexican Dodge Attitude. And I wonder how that went down. Welcome! We open today's bidding with a Trumpchi Empow.
$50.
It's Chinese.
$45.
It comes with 3 engine warning lights from the factory, standard.
$50.
Excuse me, are you gonna sell anything that's not gross?
Jokes aside, that the new Attitude is a rebadged Chinese car doesn't come completely out of thin air, however, as Dodge and Chrysler are now part of Stellantis, which has a partnership with the Chinese GAC group that owns Trumpchi among other Chinese brands. As I mentioned before, the new Dodge Journey is a rebadged Trumpchi GS5. So here we have a car that over 4 generations has had 3 sugar daddies, 2 of which that went out to get milk and never returned. The jokes really write themselves. A Chinese, Japanese, and Korean walk into a bar and the barman asks if they're looking for a Dodge as they left the lights on. At this rate of progress, you'd start to wonder if other car brands need to revive long-dead brands in order to give Mexican Dodge a car for the near future. Like Dodge knocking on General Motors' door to ask them to revive Pontiac so that they can rebadge it into their next Attitude. But this concludes a little peek in the ups and downs and the confusing rebadging strategy that is the Mitsubishi, Hyundai, Trumpchi, Dodge Attitude. And I nominate this car with the most foreign car makers as a donor in successive order, with a total number of 3. But as always, I'd love to be corrected in the comments, as you probably know a few other cars out there that have even a longer list. Let me know, because remember, victory has 100 fathers, but defeat is an orphan. If you wish to know more about the practice of rebadging and the history behind it, click the video in the top left. If you wish to know more about the rise of the Chinese cars, click the video in the bottom left.